Hi guys! Our garden is full of fruit trees and various berry shrubs. And now, in May, we can see fruits and berries developing on them. It's a hopeful time, and one can observe how amazing it could be in the future once they are big. But there is always danger lurking somewhere. It is often the bad weather, and this time it won't be any different. We always try to fight it, but who knows if we'll be successful this time. We definitely need at least a bit of luck on our side. The fruits are done, the leaves are done. We'll show you later in the video what was happening. But let's start this week's stories with something different. Something more pleasant and maybe even yummy.
The lilac started blooming and it's so beautiful and smells so nice even from afar. When we just walk around in the area, we can smell lilac in the air. We have more lilacs in the back that we planted. This one is an old one which was already here before, but the new ones are finally blooming too. This is where we planted several new lilacs, and two of them are blooming already, which I didn't expect. They have been here only for months. This is where we planted one of the first lilacs ourselves, and it has flowered before, but it's already so big. We can see long new growths from this year and a lot of flowers as well. And beetles love them.
Yeah, there are so many various insects.
We've seen a lot of rose chafers this spring, and they are all over all the blooms on various shrubs, including here on lilacs. They seem to love the nectar in the flowers.
Yeah, and they are so green and shiny, so they look pretty, and it's so interesting to see them everywhere.
Yeah, but in the summer they will probably eat our fruits.
Yes, so that won't be the best, but we'll see. Hopefully we will be sharing peacefully with them and it will be okay.
We don't mind sharing. And the last lilac, which is in bloom, is here all the way in the corner next to the chokeberries, which are also in bloom.
They look amazing. Wow, but the lilac is quite inaccessible here in this corner. But we planted that one and it's the biggest one from the ones we planted.
I think it's the first one we've planted, and it's part of the hedge, so we didn't plant it to see it for its beauty, but just to hide us from the surroundings.
Yeah. And lilac flowers are edible, so of course I was picking them. They are mostly treasured for their amazing scent and aroma, and you can make cookies out of them, so I'm going to try that. This amount is from 5 flowers, and I was separating the blooms from the stems, and it went quite easily, and it's quite a big amount, so I am curious how this will turn out. So let's do this. Here I have 90 grams of oats. Here 120 grams of whole grain spelt flour. You can use whole grain wheat flour if you want to. And we also need salt, 1/4 of a teaspoon, so just a small amount. And here we have baking powder. I'm gonna use 1/2 teaspoon. And those are dry ingredients, so we will just combine them like this. Here we have 115 grams of melted butter, and I'm going to add 100 grams of sugar, and we need to mix this together, combine the butter with the sugar. You don't need to melt the butter completely, it just has to be softened, and it would be probably easier to combine, but ours was in the fridge and it was very hard and I wanted to do this, so I melted it was faster. And we will also add 1 egg. into this sugary butter mixture and we will beat it so it's completely smooth. Let's add our lilac flowers here into the dry ingredients mixture. All of them. And let's combine this. And now we will add this sugary butter mixture here as well. And we will just create the cookie dough. So we will mix everything and it should hold together. And then we will make cookies out of this. And now I'm just going to I'm just going to make the cookies. So with the spoon, like this. Or maybe it would be easier with hands. Yes. So I'm going to create always a little ball and put it here. This one goes back. Guys, baking is so much fun, right? It's creative. I like the recipes are always just an inspiration for me, and I like to adjust everything and make it my own way. And you want them to be at least a similar size to each other, so they bake like evenly. They look quite pretty with the lilac flowers. We'll see how they are when they are baked. Hopefully not completely brown, dark or something, but now when it's this pink color, it's so pretty, very decorative. Okay, here we have 15 cookies, which is great. I preheated the oven on 175 degrees Celsius, and now we will put this in and we will bake it for 15 minutes. 15 minutes went by and the cookies are done. Wow, they look very good. So here we are, and we are going to taste this. I'm curious to see Tommy's reaction.
So lilac-y.
I don't know if I can smell lilacs, but
I think I can only smell sugar.
But lilacs are definitely there.
You say so?
I say so. It's filmed, so I have proof. I put a lot in the dough. Sweet.
Yeah. No trace of lilac. But
No.
I can see it.
Yeah, it's there.
But
There
I don't
are-
taste it or smell it or anything. But the cookies are delicious, just not because of the lilac.
Yes, but I can like slightly taste the lilac. Maybe just a nice hint. And guys, I just wanted to say that an announcement, yay! Today is our 17th anniversary of us being a couple.
Aww.
Yay! So that's cool, that's a great achievement. We can cheers with the cookies. Yay! We will open wine later.
Yay!
And yeah, that's very nice, right?
I think 17 years is quite an achievement. I know it's not 40 or 50 as some of you, but...
Yeah, guys, you have, some of you, a very long-term relationships, very wow. So hopefully we will get there too.
We are catching up.
Yes, we are totally catching up. So we are celebrating a little bit today. Yay! Our rhododendron is also blooming now under this construction because it needs a partial shade. So that's why it's here, and it's quite nice. We just transplanted it recently, so it's just making itself at home here. I'm sure next year it will be bigger and better, but it didn't die when we transplanted it, so that's always nice, and it looks pretty. It's Thursday and we just published the video where Tommy was standing here by this apricot tree and he was saying that we are saved, no more frosts probably, and we will have apricots. Well, guess what? The weather, of course, has other plans for us. It's so cold, like cold air came to Central Europe and it's going to stay for more than a week. And wow, frosty nights are coming. For now, you can see there are still clouds in the sky, but if you look there, the clear sky is coming. And that's very bad for us, because we are kinda in a shallow sink in the terrain here, and these nights with clear skies and when the wind is calm, which it is and it will be during the night, are the worst. Cold air is flowing here and we are like in a pool of frosty air. We will be. So, look at this. We were trying to do at least something. So the apricot, it's very big, it's hard to do this, but it's there under these sheets, under this unwoven white frost fabric, and we also put 2 small hills of freshly mowed grass there, and the grass will be decomposing overnight and it creates heat. It can get quite hot in such piles of grass, so that will add a little bit of warmth to the dome and it should keep the apricot a bit warmer so the fruits don't freeze. We are hoping. The fruits are so big already, it's unbelievable. So yeah, we'll see what happens. And this is not the only thing, of course, that has fruits. There are currants with like normal fruits are already there, green ones, and gooseberries and other stuff. So we will cover that as well. Here we can see strawberries. These ones are the most in danger because the coldest air is always near the ground. So yeah, and it's almost the middle of May and frosts are not that usual by this time. Usually like some light ground frost can happen, but not like normal temperature standard one here, up here, that will get under 0 degrees Celsius. That's not very usual. So wow, we'll see. And it will be more nights, so oh my god, wish us luck, guys. I know some of you guys sometimes comment that we can spray the tree with water and that would like stop the frost damage from happening. We were reading about that, and it's not that easy because the droplets has to be very small and you need to spray the whole night. Not just like one time I would spray the tree and that's it, because the heat, the latent heat, is released when the droplets are freezing. And once they are done, they are solid, the temperature keeps dropping. So you need to spray fresh water the whole night, so there is still something to freeze, you know. And then the trees and shrubs are covered in ice, like when there is heavy freezing rain or something. And you know, it's not easy at all. So this is the easiest method for us, and we'll see if it helps. It should keep the temperature warmer inside of that dome that we created. Okay, so we covered some of the things we would like to have. So this is a mini kiwi. It's growing nicely. Not sure if there will be fruits, but this one is like very sensitive to frost, so even the leaves could freeze. So it's better not to weaken it by the frost. Here we have sour cherries. These ones are special small ones, you know, shrub variety. So we would like to have those. And come here. Our garden looks really interesting now. You can see white fabrics everywhere. It looks like on Halloween or something. So here we have blueberries. Just 2 shrubs are covered because we don't have enough fabric. And it's also an experiment if these ones will survive. So we'll see. Here is a mulberry, very, very sensitive, and we have many of them, and some of them are very big, so it's hard to cover them. So this one, we'll see what happens. And that big area, I don't know if you can see something, these are gooseberries. These are the ones we were saving last year from the green caterpillars. They were eating the leaves very heavily. So this year we've been finding the caterpillars as well, but we've been fast and they didn't have time to eat the leaves. And there are many fruits there prepared for us to be picked in summer. So it would be a shame to lose them. That's why this area is covered. And here, this is a new tree. Also has fruits already, and these ones are green gauge thingies, but red ones, so probably red gauge or something. So it's similar to plums but different. So hopefully we will be able to show you in summer or in autumn, I don't know when. And yeah, let's hope for the best. Here we are after 2 frosty nights, and there are losses, sadly. So our mulberry, this one, is done. The fruits are done, the leaves are done, and even if it was covered, and this one was covered partially, so that didn't help. But what's interesting is that it wasn't totally terrible. Some mulberries are okay, or partially okay, because it looks like that the cold air was reaching up to here. It's always the coldest on the ground. And the frost zone, it was probably here. And when you look at this one is okay. and some leaves and fruits are destroyed on the lower branches. So that's nice. So we should have at least something. When you look here, look, this is okay, but everything below it is done. So it's really interesting. And our property is a bit upslope this way, and come take a look. Here we are by this mulberry on the upper part of the garden. It's like tiny bit higher, and you can see it's okay. Only this part here is burned by frost. So it's really interesting how local it is and how just a minor differences can make a big difference in like what will survive. Here we have a walnut tree, a small one, but it's still big, like it saved itself from the frost because the crown of the tree is quite high up, and that one as well, that is also a walnut tree. And walnut trees are very sensitive, so we are glad it survived.
That's why we planted them here at the highest point of our garden. It was all calculated.
Yes, so now it pays off. It paid off, and yay! So that's nice. But this one will not have walnuts because there are no flowers. But there are a few, so we'll see.
I'm a little bit surprised that some of the gooseberries look damaged. Some of the fruits, they went brown from green. Last year a lot of them looked like this, so I remember this color. We didn't have many fruits. This year we still have a lot. Hopefully they will survive. But we tried to cover them with the unwoven fabric, and it didn't seem to help. So we either did it incorrectly, it wasn't covered properly, or it just didn't help.
The fruit trees mostly seem to be okay. Here we have cherries. They are so big.
Wow.
They could be ripe in 3 weeks or something. And yeah, so I'm glad the tree is full of cherries, and also some other, all the other fruit trees seem to be doing nice in this section. But we don't know about peaches, for example. The fruits look like normal, but sometimes the frost damage appears or is noticeable a few days later. So we are not sure. Peaches are sensitive.
Last year we had one peach.
Yes. And the most important thing to us are the apricots. They are still covered because the whole week, now it's so warm, but the whole week there could still be frosty mornings, but the frost should be lighter and it should be better. But we will keep it covered just in case. The fruits look okay. Some of them, like I see a bit different color, like this sick green. So maybe some of them are damaged. We don't know, we'll see. But a lot of them look okay. So hopefully we saved at least some of them. But this is such a long fight this year.
It will be nice to have some apricots after 5 years.
Yes. Here I have sensors for the temperature measurement. So this one is lower, and the minimum temperature here was minus 2.8 degrees Celsius, which is not great. So it was quite frosty, and at the ground level it could have been even frostier. And here we are measuring at the standard height of 2 meters approximately, and here the minimum was minus 1.7. So it shows that the higher you go, the better it is. This is our main walnut tree, and it survived. It's green and everything is okay, so that's cool. Last year it was all black, all frozen, and it was done totally. So this year it's so much better. Even though it's so tall, last year the layer of the frosty air was so thick that it was all done. It was a catastrophe. this year, we are glad it's better.